It's a beautiful spring day here in West Vancouver, and I stand among a group of women who have been meeting, well, over the years, 8 or 9 years, pretty much on a weekly basis, a group that calls themselves the Half the Sky Women's Advocacy Group, who've done some amazing things on behalf of women's rights and on behalf of all Canadians. So, Randine Hardy, tell us a little bit about the group, why you meet, and what's in your heart, what motivates you to do what you're doing?
Well, John, as you said, we're called Half the Sky because we read a book a few years ago called Half the Sky, Turning Oppression into Opportunity. So we feel that after reading that book, we were so incensed about the plight of marginalized girls and women that we had to do something. So we carried on. We've had an amazing event at our shopping center locally, Park Royal. We are supporting other NGOs and nonprofit groups that work with girls and women who have been sexually exploited in particular. So right now our focus is on prevention and education for girls and women in Canada. We do not want to see prostitution laws changed to legalize and in any way further damage and harm our girls and women.
Randine, you know that Supreme Court of Canada has required the Government of Canada to enact new laws. Do you have any sense of where you think those laws should go?
Absolutely. We feel that probably less than 2% of women in Canada actually choose prostitution as their choice of vocation. We do not want to see legalized brothels on career day at school for our girls, our graduating girls, to have an option to go into. So for the other 98% of girls, 76 of whom have been sexually abused and therefore have ended up in the trade, we want to speak for them. We do not feel that their voice is being heard. Prostitution is violence against women, and we would like to see the Nordic model of law instituted in Canada. That's where we would like our lawmakers to change. It has been very successful in Scandinavia and other countries where the Nordic model has been instituted.
You said something about the other 98%. Can you just explain what you meant by the 2% and the 98%?
Well, we've spoken as a group. We've spoken to all kinds of people who've been in this industry, in and out, currently in and currently out, and many of them have told us that there's essentially 3 levels of prostitution. So legalizing brothels is really going to, we understand, is really going to help let's just say the blue-eyed blondes in the brothels. The next level of prostitution, of course, is in the massage parlors, where many of Asian girls have been trafficked and are caught into that particular area of prostitution. Legalizing brothels is not going to help them. The remaining portion of prostitution, of course, is girls that are on the street, the Aboriginal, the First Nation girls, girls that have been heroin addicted for some time. These are the girls that are not going to be in any way helped by legalizing brothels.
Well, thank you for your passion and your hard work on this issue. Kathy Peters, well, you and I know each other for various reasons. Your son Josh works for renowned Member of Parliament Joy Smith, who has done a heroic job in bringing about the human trafficking laws in Parliament. And of course, Josh worked for me for a while, so that's one thing that brings us together. But this morning I'm here to understand better your views from the Half the Sky perspective. Can you tell us about why you're doing what you're doing?
I have to admit, I had no idea about this topic a year ago until I joined this group, and I was asked to join this group because of my son's involvement with Joy Smith. Joy Smith is so remarkable in the work that she's been doing for the last 10 years. It's caused me to start to read and investigate and just start to talk to people. I'm from a small island called Bowen Island, and I've discovered that parents had no idea this pandemic, I believe, that has been fueled very much by the internet. The internet is spawning interest in prostitution. As prostitution increases, you're going to have the potential for human trafficking increasing. The target age right now for prostitution, for human trafficking, is 11 and 12 years of age. These are our daughters, our grandchildren. I am a mother, and I care, and we're passionate as a group, and we feel this is an issue that has to be dealt with, not only at the local level, but across this country. We support the Nordic model. All 3 prongs we feel need to be instituted. The countries that are choosing to institute it, they are working. Human trafficking, prostitution is dropping off, and this is not, legalization of prostitution is not something that we want for this country, for our society, for our families, for our children.
Well, Kathy, Randine, as a husband and a dad, I'm really delighted to hear your views and to support your views, and I'll make sure that our Attorney General Peter McKay, who was here just recently, is aware of them.